two indigenous melanated brothers in the Americas, just coming to discuss some things, maybe drop a little knowledge, maybe just, touch a little bit about ourselves, touch some music, touch the world, maybe even inspire some people. You know what I'm saying? That's really our hopes and intentions, How about you, my G? What you, any intake?
Nah, bro, just you started off, man. I'm gonna piggyback off you.
All right, okay. Well, I remember the last time we was on here, we was chopping up. We was talking about us as far as being part of the Indigenous American diaspora here. I give you a brief history about what's going on, and I'll be honest with you, my whole reasoning for this show. Hold on a second. My whole reasoning for this show right here is because I see a big desperate rush to try to erase our history. A big desperate rush for, I don't know, I can say Illuminati, I don't know, whatever government groups out there, whatever's going on, but there is a lot of stuff trying to keep the world from acknowledging our history, our parts in the world, trying to make it seem like we haven't been here, we're not around, which is ridiculous. And all you people out there that believe in the hype of the media, what they showing you in face, y'all just need to think and open your mind more. I don't know what this. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I see we got a few people comments here. We got Deborah Britt here. I guess she liked what we were saying. She was said, teach him, tell him. Said she loves us. Love you too. Big peace out.
Peace to Auntie.
Yep, that's right. Big peace to Auntie. We got. Is that letting us know? Christopher Columbus, that's right. He ain't discovered anything. First of all, there's people already living here. Everybody knows the story. How can anybody discover something that got people already living there? That just doesn't make any sense. And people believing that just shows where your thinking is at. You know what I'm saying? Person here. We got, I guess, I don't know, Naomi 65. I can't pronounce it right. You know what I'm saying? And it's saying there was no Black history. To put it another way, Black history was one leaf in my history text, 2 pages, one which was a picture covering half the page.
That pretty much sums it up, man.
That pretty much sums it up, yo. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna edit this up. So I'm about to put this. So
yeah. Do you think?
I got another brother over here. His name is Bobo, ZZ2PD. I don't know what that means, but that's what's up. Big shout out to my man. He's like, yo, fellas, clean up our community. Stop the black on black crime. I feel you on that, brother. Rappers destroying each other is stupid and ridiculous. Please stop embarrassing us. I 100% agree with you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What I would like to say is I really feel that hip hop, rap in general, the original, rap has always been around, especially people like my elders. My mom always lets me know rap is something that we just did as a cultural people all the time. But hip hop was a new way that was brought in, Africa Bambaataa and all them brothers out there. Big shout to Zulu Nation, remember CT, we joined, Zulu Nation out there in Hartford for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I've heard a lot of crazy stories, but we ain't going into all that stuff. That's not us. We ain't got nothing to do with that stuff. But at the same time, big shout out to a lot of pioneers of hip hop, because that was a culture that really started and pioneered a lot of, the way we move and think and feel and vibe. I feel it's gotten a bad rap because, at first when we really started this, it was about, bringing people together, bringing the culture together, stopping gang violence. You can put your pressure on the paper and the track instead of going at each other. You know what I'm saying? And and educating each other. It was a way of us speaking to each other with knowledge and information. Like we, I learned a lot of stuff listening to hip hop artists that spoke like, revolutionary information, that just spoke history.
KRS-One, Public Enemy, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Press,
X-Clan.
Oh, come on, man. Like, back those right there, poor righteous teachers, Yeah, but
Son,
like, those guys right there, I feel like they helped inspire a lot of young people at our time. And, I didn't change the way I thought about things because of, me seeing people that look like me, that had something to say, that were intelligent, that weren't afraid to speak out, that were, owning their art and their craft, you know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of good that comes from the hip hop era, but then we have the infiltrators, you know what I'm saying? We done got a lot of infiltration of the weirdos that came into hip hop. And they're coming in with this I don't know what to call this stuff right here, but besides Satanism or
it ain't hip hop, I know that much.
It ain't hip hop, man. With all of y'all out there that think that this weird stuff that y'all see people touching each other, wearing dresses, they're killing each other, like, all of this stuff, death, murder, kill. That is not how hip hop.
All that bullshit.
100. That's not how hip hop's supposed to be. That's not how it started. That's not how it's supposed to be. And from what I hear, what was it? The 90s, they said, what was it? A grand meeting that a lot of the industry leaders had to.
Yeah, I think that with Crazy Bone, he was breaking that shit down about that meeting he had. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't want any more conscious hip hop. Like, that kind of changed a lot for me. I know it affected me as an artist because, when I was coming up, that's what inspired me in the first place. Was hearing artists that were conscious, they were hard, they were dropping reality, but they were doing it, with history, with facts. They were, what I'm saying? It was about boosting us up. And then I remember, I say the early 90s, it was like everybody had to be on some gangster. It had to be hard. Like, nobody was trying to hear you if you wasn't even. And that meeting made that effect. And then you hear a lot of all the ill rappers that came out. Because you remember when we was coming up, the 80s rappers, it was different. It was different vibe. It was about the people, party, have a good time, trying to drop some knowledge. The 90s, it got like grab the gap, yo. You gotta have the strap with you, like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, the gang era popped off and all that shit. Yeah.
The 2000s, then what we got? Then we got the weird dudes with the lipstick, yo, eyeliner, eyelash, booty pants with their underwear around. I don't know how that fashion got. Yo, as a dude, I just gotta say, yo, what is up with all y'all cats here? I don't want disrespect, whatever fashion is fashion, whatever, how you feel, me.
Let me chill.
Yo, with the tight jeans, with the underwear, tight booty band underwear out, that's just under your buttocks, and then you got the underwear to match your kicks and your outfit. Everybody gotta see your. I hope. Cause I know niggas excuse my friend, I know cats gotta go out and go. I hope when you go out there, you ain't just jumping off the toilet, taking number 3, and then putting your booty drawers on and walking around all day with the, I don't know. It's weird to me, but that's the style, whatever, yo. But that's not.
That's crazy, bro. For real. That's some other shit. I don't know where that bullshit came in, man. For real, man. It's like it's word.
Yeah, I don't understand that style, but it is what it is. I guess I guess our parents didn't understand the Rick James with the leather pants style.
I mean, if we want to get critical, we could always pinpoint. We could go back to fucking, what was it? Melly Mel and them niggas that was wearing all that crazy shit. And all them niggas, all that village people shit, man. Back in the 80s, they was doing that shit. Run DMC came to save the day, you know what I'm saying? With this hood shit. Run DMC, them niggas, cameo, like hip hop, niggas, tight leather and shit, feathers and all types of crazy shit. It's always been a side of that weirdo shit, you know what I mean? But now it's just full blown. Like it was a segment back in the day, they stayed on the side with that shit. It was there, but it wasn't all in motherfuckers' faces. Now, they teaching the kids this shit in elementary. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's crazy. We don't get into that right there. That's another topic. So we would run into that right there. That whole thing right there. So I'm just gonna say my feel and what I take on it. For information, this is for information and educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it with a grain of salt. You don't gotta take it from me. We just some indigenous, melanated, copper-colored American hip-hop rappers. We don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? But from what I understand, like I think the last show we was talking about, we were saying that the whole entertainment industry in itself, all of it, not just music, is quote unquote, from what I heard, CIA or government-run organizations as a whole, and it has a lot to do, from what I understand here, it has a lot to do with mind control. Has a lot to do with culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if people have heard about that, but if you haven't, check it out. MK Ultra. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And just to give it short, from what I understand, if people don't really directly understand how that mind control type of works, from what I hear, it has a lot to do with compartmentalizing the mind. And what you do is you create split personality multiples of a person through trauma, through, stress, drugs, lights and music also play a part in this imagery. You know what I'm saying? So taking it short, how everybody is not liking how hip-hop is right now, as we were just saying, it didn't start off that way. But through mind control, imagery, and the music, and whoever's ideologies and what they want to push on people, now they have got, say, you've got young Tyrone, he's a great person, great student, takes care of his family, the whole 9 yards. But when he hears certain tracks or he sees certain imagery, he gets a vibe and start thinking, like, in the back of his head, like, I could be gangster like him. I could be hard like them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what the movies got it. Huh? So that's when the movies come into play.
That's when the movies come into play. Everybody's playing a character. Like, you're not even really being yourself.
Yeah. Not only that, but the movies also is what they pre shit, man. Like with the movies, we was talking about the brainwashing shit. Like that movie Inception, break that shit down perfectly. How they break down the compartmentalized in the subconscious and shit like that. That movie Inception break that shit down like that. Perfect. And as far as like movies, as far as that we watch growing up that influence us, Men's Society, Colors, you know what I'm saying? All them movies played a big part. Scarface, you know what I'm saying? How many niggas wanted to be Scarface after watching that shit? You know what I'm saying? So, nah, you froze too.
Yeah, he is. There he is. You froze.
Yeah. We good?
Yeah, you froze a little bit.
Okay. We back on though?
Oh yeah, you good.
Alright. But yeah, like I was saying, like the movies, they definitely played a major part and influence in the psyche of us growing up. You know what I mean? Definitely. I ain't mean to cut you off and go back.
No, you're adding to the soup. That's all it is, man. And then, like from what I understand, what I've gathered, and how it really works, you see a lot of entertainers, and you ever notice that a lot of times throughout the years, magazines, tabloids, whatever, you notice that a lot of the young people, you see them when they go in, and then I give it a month or so or whatever later, they in the tabloids again, and they drugged out. They in rehab. They got to get,
artists. You mean artists or just people in general?
Right now, I'm specifically talking about artists now. I should have said that. Specifically talking about artists. They go in there, they start off all innocent and cool, great. I'm happy to be taken. I got my talent is recognized. And then you see them about a couple of months later, and they bugged out. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to tell you that because the drugs specifically play a role in compartmentalizing the mind. So they always invite him to parties. We already see what's going on with the P. Diddy thing, the Diddy Master and all that stuff like that. You know, that's why the drugs and all that stuff was initiated, that they had to let people do what they want to do, release their inhibitions, the whole 9 yards. So the drugs aid in to open up the mind, compartmentalize it. Now you got somebody that puts you through so much trauma and stress. You get what I'm saying? That the inner you finds you find a small compartment within yourself to hide yourself, so you can let this other part of you exist. Like what they do, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they cultivate that part. That part of you, and that is part of culture. And I'm just trying to say this in the shortest, smallest way. I ain't getting no technical. That's the shortest, smallest way, but the drugs play a part. You want to know what drug that does not work well with the mind compartmentalization and always has? They don't ever say that. Marijuana. Does not. It does the opposite effect of what they want for people. They want people to be able to be compartmentalized so they can control that person, make them a controlled person in society, and not being themselves. So when you grow up as kids, what do they do as kids? They show you the same toys. You got the superhero, you got the Barbie, you got, the princess, you got all these type of characters are the selective group of personalities they're giving people to base themselves off of. You got
everything changes like the weather. My sonics more better.
Yeah, you froze again, bro.
Yeah, maybe not everything, but to inspire you somehow. So you see a girl that walk around, and you see a lady walking around, she thinks she a princess all damn day. You know she had a bunch of Barbie damn dolls in a damn house. He got G.I. Joe, man. He done had all the superheroes, he had all the G.I. Joe characters. You get what I'm saying? Like, all of these type of things are molding people to the baby toys. What do they do with the baby toys? They only get you to focus on maybe 4 colors. The same 4 colors you see with the yellow, the green, the blue, the red, those main colors. You see them in always, all the times. I mean, if I was to really go technical, I could say they're programming your mind to only recognize those color spectrums. So if there's something...
I ain't mean to cut you with them. I'm gonna tune in later. I'm gonna tune in after. Go ahead.
That be yapping, bro. You got yell. I don't care, man. Yapping. But so if your mind is always only focused on that part of the color spectrum, is it possible to have something right in front of your face that maybe you don't recognize because you weren't trained or you weren't allowed? You get what I'm saying? So these are types of things that are out there that they've been doing. So you seen a Manchurian Candidate like, you know what I'm saying, Will Ferrell and all that stuff. That was good, but that was a prime example. Now you've got thousands to millions of people walking around every day, all day, not being who they are because of program memories that are in their head from society and the government through many ways and various ways.
You're right, no doubt about it. But is it even a deeper level than that? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going into programming, like psychological shit, programming and shit, that starts with our parents. They were the first one that programmed us. And our first programmers was our parents. Stop, don't do that. Do this, no, stop, don't do this, do that, don't do that. They was the first one that programmed us. They should have really. Yeah, but our parents, some of our parents was no good. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't teaching to this day. The babies are having babies, so the babies ain't teaching the babies shit because they don't know. Back in the day, kind of same thing. I can't blame my parents. Like, I think about it now, I was mad at my pops for so long. I hated my pops, but it took me to get older to look at life and say, oh shit, maybe he was going through this at this time. Maybe he was going through that at this time. So I had to get a different understanding of life to say, okay, now I can forgive my pops for not being there for me. Know what I'm saying? Even though I still don't know exactly why, but now I'm to the point where I don't even need to know. Because I know that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I can't hold certain things against him for not being in a part of my life. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's just that little bit. But what you saying about the programming is that right. You know what I'm saying? That goes from the schooling, from government teaching to, like I said, from our parents to growing up, man. They've been programming us like a motherfucker. And that's the whole thing about now, is deprogramming that shit and reprogramming yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know what I'm saying, survive this shit. You gotta get all that bullshit, download all that shit, and upload all new shit. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. You know what I'm saying?
100, yo. Let me add to this. And since we on that, I'm gonna go into, since you gotta deprogram ourselves, we do. I'm gonna go into that. So, real quick, because this is technical in a way, and they've been doing that to us for a very long time, yo. So, one of the things I was saying about is light. One of the types of light that I'm talking about is a piezoelectric light. Piezoelectric light is thousands and thousands of kilovolts to flash. Alright? So you remember back in the days when you used to take the picture with the Polaroid, everybody say cheese? Right there for cheese and that flash. And you know, that split moment, if you think about it, after the flash happened, you kind of got to recollect yourself. See? It's over with. Now you gotta kind of snap yourself out of the flash for a split second. Now strobe light, you got LEDs. You know what I'm saying? You've got things like the like police lights right now, the ones with the flash real light. They didn't used to be that. Remember back in the day, it was just a little thing that used to spin around, the light inside of it. They took that away. The piezoelectric part works with the mind control aspect more. And remember, Men in Black, what they do, they put the flashy thing in front of you, right? All right. That moment, see, that flash, what happens is it puts people in an alpha brainwave state for that moment. So, you got TVs, you know what I'm saying, your radios, you know, your video games, and people have no idea these types of things are actually putting people in an alpha brainwave state. In short, the alpha brainwaves is where hypnotic suggestion is easily to be put into people's minds. You know what I'm saying? Bang. A picture. You could go to a museum and it'll be a weird picture on the wall. You can stare at that. Why are you staring at it so hard, not knowing that that stare is you in an alpha brainwave state? See, there's so many ways, but we ain't gonna go too deep. We gonna save this for a whole other topic, but we gonna stick with the hip hop, course, because that's where we was at, and that's true. This music and these people know, from what I understand, what they're doing and how to cultivate the minds of the young people through the arts. So now they got the most influential young kids. They thinking that gangsterism and all this stuff is what it's got to be. They thinking that's what it takes to be a man. You know what I'm saying? They think the fast money is what it's going to take to get them where they got to go. They thinking jail is someplace that's supposed to be fun to go visit or something, and they going to get out next week, and their life is going to be great after all the damage they done. And all of this stuff is a result part of programming a whole culture of people. And guess who the culture that they're attacking? Is the Indigenous Native American people of the land. The same way that they came over here with Columbus, and they came over here with, there's a couple other names, I ain't got them right here, but there's a couple other names that were before Columbus and afterwards, that their whole goal was to come here and pillage the land from the Americas to keep down the indigenous people, either keep them enslaved or kill them. You get what I'm saying? And since laws change, I just think about maybe you get to the point where now they had to get free the slaves, so they got rights now. So now they like, we can't just kill them like we used to, so we got to come up other ways. So cats come up with a whole commission of people that's going to come up with a way to mind control, to poison, to slowly decrease the indigenous people while we harvest the resources of the land. So you got people like the Trilateral Commission, the council that they started, back in, I guess that was before or after World War II. We're going to get back into that more specifics later. But these councils, all these great families, and all these people that own these companies like the DuPonts, the Bilderbergs, we already know about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, we can go into all of them. But these families that make our chemicals, they make our food, they make the things that we use around us every day, are part of this commission to slowly poison the indigenous people, erasing them while building off of them and while feeding off of them, hoping that they don't know and suspect anything until they just pass out in history, so they can just pop in place. Hey, we always been here. They think they just gonna come out and do all this stuff. They try to do a clone Tyrone on all of us. What's they happened? That's really what it is. That's really what it is. But the whole point is, I'm saying is, the harvesting of the indigenous people of America has never stopped. And it's become political. It's become through the music, through the mind control. It's become through the arts. It's become through all this stuff. They are still pirating us. Everybody thinks that, and I know you know, but now I'm just talking to the people out there and just saying, like, they're still pirating us, still taking our identities through rights, hoping that you can claim that you're another nationality when you're not. And then when you claim that, guess what you do? You abandon your heritage and your land rights of the real nationality where you came from. If you come from America, why would you give up your land rights here and say, I'm from another nationality? Now, guess what you did? You gave up, you started abandoning property. So your rights now abandon the property that you had here. You gave that, if you had land, if you had territory, if you had, it's given up. You abandoned it. You know what I'm saying? Now you can go join them because you said you over there now. You get what I'm saying? We're not doing that. Like a lot of, and my nephew asked me today because I was telling him a little about it, and because I realized they don't know. In history school, they teaching about Black history, Africa, the whole Africa. I try to tell him about the indigenous people here. He was interested, and I try to tell him they don't teach you about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go into that too. But I'm rambling. Sorry, brother.
You definitely dropping some shit on them. Definitely. I come at it from a different perspective, so to speak. That's all. Like my thought process is more metaphysical with it. You come from a more historical I know you get metaphysical science, all that, but the information that you're dropping now is more historical basis. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with that. You gotta know where you come from to get where you're going. You know what I'm saying? But me, I'm all about metaphysics. I don't give a fuck about this physical shit. So, I mean, it's good to know your heritage and all that, but I'm saying, I don't give a fuck about my heritage because I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm not even this physical body. I'm none of this. So my main concern is getting out of this husk, getting out of this spacesuit. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm coming from with it. You know what I'm saying? As far as that process. But what you coming from is totally dead on. You know what I'm saying? And people should never, you know what I'm saying, pass that up, and they should always learn your historical facts about where the fuck you come from, who the fuck you are, and who the fuck your ancestors are. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very important. But like I said, while you bring that aspect, I'm gonna bring the other aspect to it.
It's cool because we gonna blend it. We gonna merge. We gonna blend it right on into there, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, and that being said, like, so the reason why I'm bringing that up because I see what they're trying to do with the education department. So you got a lot of young people out here. Like I was telling you, my nephew, I was talking to him earlier, and he's like, it's nothing. It's not his fault. You get what I'm saying? And
Right.
our fault too. Because a lot of us, like, I'll be honest with you, as much as it's a shame that it took this point in time in my life. I wouldn't say it's a shame, but I guess it's the prime time in my life to really do the research on my history of my people. Now imagine if the nation of people, we did that. And we did that for our young people at an early age. Let them know who they are. Finding out we got royalty in the family. You know what I'm saying? We got indigenous Indians in the family. You know what I'm saying? We got people from different areas of the globe in our family, some prominent figures, but we don't know. So, and they're trying to erase us and make the younger generation believe that they have always existed as slaves. That right there, I can't let happen on my watch. That's what I'm saying. I can't do it, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, and that part right there, the reason why I'm bringing that up. So I did more research. I had to get a little bit deeper. And even though on this stream right here, you know what I'm saying, as much as I want to go into it, it's going to be hard. So I am going to edit it. I'm going to break it down with this audio here, with the imagery and stuff to show exactly what they're talking about. But I couldn't understand, like I'm saying, we've always been here. We were part of many various indigenous tribes across the Americas. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people that I can think of so far in our cultural diaspora, I researched, I'm just going to stick with Mississippian culture area. I know there's more, but I'm going to just stick to that time period. The people from there, 1830, because of, the government and whatever the restrictions they had on indigenous people, again, they want to come and take the land. They need the resources. Get the hell out of here. We taking over this land. That's what it is. That's how they come in. So these tribes now, they have to leave and find different areas to go find places to live and stay. I know the Trail of Tears. These people went up to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is split up in maybe about 6 territories. You get what I'm saying? Those territories were broken down for the tribes that left the Mississippi area, the tribes that left there, including the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, you know what I'm saying, the Seminole mostly were in Florida. They had their own conflict going on. You know what I'm saying? I heard about the Natchez people. I didn't know too much about them, but I have info about them as well. You know what I'm saying? But and a few more. The Cherokee. I found that the Cherokee definitely moved up, and they went a lot in the areas of the Carolinas, the southern parts of Georgia, the Virginia. You know what I'm saying? So these tribes that left and spread out across the United States, they, first of all, just mind you, just real quick, if anybody can just think of this for a second, just use the mind for a second. These people, they left Mississippi. They were Native Indians. They left Mississippi, then they went to Oklahoma. They started a place called Black Wall Street. They were black. They were black Indians. They had to be relocated from Mississippi, and they spread to many areas across the country to start off new lands, new territories, and new colonies. One of some of these areas happened to be going up the East Coast many areas and starting land in life. One of those areas I researched happened to be where my family partly comes from, the Carolinas, the North Carolinas, which it was all North Carolina at one time. You know what I'm saying? And between there are several tribes, including the Cherokee. You had the Catawba, the Wateree, the Santee, the Sioux Indians, the Catawba, you know what I'm saying? All these different, there's so many tribes that were there. And you really cannot go by color. You can't go by almost look, because that's a Europeanized thing. They brought the colorism. Like if you got any brown in you, then you gotta be from where the brown people are. They think that's Africa. You get what I'm saying? If you got straight hair, then you're from over here. If you got, from what I understand as a researcher, I found out that the natives of the Americas encompassed so many. Nobody looked alike. Nobody was alike. America just had many diverse tribes here. Many melanated tribes we come from. Many phenotypes that we come from. Before the late 1500s to the 1600s, when the slaves were brought from Africa to America in Virginia area, and they became the slaves there. Now, those brown and dark people are not the exact same as the brown and copper brown people that were in America before they got here. So my thing is for people out in the world to stop thinking that just because somebody has dark or brown skin that they only come from Africa. Stop it. That's my point. And that right there is, you have a lot of people with mind control here. This the same example. You have a lot of us here that are wholeheartedly don't even really completely know their heritage here and thinking that they're from another continent. I'm just going to speak on Africa. I have no regards or no problems. I have no issues with my melanated brothers in Africa over there. They are also our brothers. Straight up, we all connected in that type of way. But at the same time, across the plane of this earth, there are various melanated people that have been all around, not just from Africa. You get what I'm saying? So now, my thing bringing this up is when the indigenous people had left those areas, you know what I'm saying, and they were released to be able to set up their lands, you know, whatever it was, when they came up with the whack-ass Census Bureau. I don't know if you know about Walter Plecker. I don't know if you know about this dude. Walter Plecker is one of these palm whack, you know, the pinkies, one of the pinkies. I'm gonna come up with the pinkies, man. The Pinky Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So he comes up and he come up with an idea in the Census Bureau, in short, to say that colored people, if you have any type of colorism in you, melanated, whether you're indigenous, whether you're Indian, Native American, you could be European, a white man, and have a crazy bad tan on your ass. He automatically would put you in a category as Negro. So, Negro, they forced the indigenous people of America to accept the term Negro. Now, let me explain the term Negro. As I found out much information I'm gonna put the imagery up with this after a while. The word Negro, as I come to find out, the way it's described is that it was explicitly applied to the people from the African continent. Specifically, the people in Americas were known as the copper colored or colored people. They were indigenous to the land here.
Give me 1 second, yo. I gotta get some tissue to blow my nose real quick.
Yeah. Hit your biz, man. Hit your biz. I just want to sit here and talk to the people, and I'm just talking to the world and trying to get people to grasp and understand that just because you have this color skin does not mean you are an African. Nothing wrong with being African. But what's right is knowing who you are and what you are and where you come from. You get what I'm saying? My skin is not dark black. It is not super burnt. And if you get close to it, it has tones and shades of red and brown hues. There's a difference in there. So people small-minded out there think because of media and mid culture and programming, get what I'm saying, and think that, oh, he must be African or part from the African people. Oh, he is African American. Pause. I am not African American. I don't acknowledge the African American term. You get what I'm saying? I don't know anybody in my family since I've been growing up as a kid. I've been here my entire life. We got 50 years going in. My family been here for generations. Their family been here for generations. I done traced it back. I don't know anybody talking about it yet that saying, oh, this is your auntie from the village of Zookadoo. I don't know not one. None of my homeboy, none of my friends, none of my peoples, unless if I meet somebody, I know that they're from Africa. And there's nothing wrong with it. You're still my boy, you're still my people, still got love. But I know you're from someplace else. You know I'm from someplace else. There's nothing wrong with that. You get what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. That right there needs to be brought up. And this is part of why they want to erase history. So I found out that this brother right here, Walter Plechter, and him and other characters are responsible in the Census Bureau for when the Native Americans were darker toned, he forced them to accept the term Negro. Negro was mostly applied to the people from Africa. You don't have to be from Africa, and they said you were Negro. So there we go. So all of y'all wake up and think for a second. Stop the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. Because they were called from Negro because they came from Negro land, which was in Africa. Okay. There we get straight up. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my points I was going to say, you know, because I was finding out where all the tribes went. I tracked their paths. I tracked to the trails that they went to, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of our young people just don't understand that. Everybody's so Afrocentric, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you go someplace, I meet a lot of sisters, a lot of these girls are totally American Indian, indigenous to Americas, and they so thinking that they African, everything African, dashiki, Afro clothes. You go to people in Africa, they looking at them crazy. Girl, you not from Africa. You ain't one of us. You get what I'm saying? You don't even know who you are. But still, and I meet them sisters. We ain't gonna go into all that stuff because they don't even be what you think they are. I'm thinking into the queen and the princess I done met. It ain't even nothing like that. But that's another story, yo. You know what I'm saying? But that what I'm saying is that whole ideology. There's nothing wrong with that. But just if we knew our history, we knew what was going on more. I would still go to an African custom and I would wear their garb. I'd do the festival with them and chill out. At the same time, I recognize where I am. I recognize who I am. I understand that better now. You know what I'm saying? All this Black History class making people think that it just stops at the transatlantic slave trade. Oh, you were just brought here. Get that. That is some BS. You get what I'm saying? That's a straight garbage. You know what I'm saying? You have been here. Your family has been here. You get what I'm saying? The schools are not teaching you what you're supposed to be taught. It's done on purpose. That's part of mid-culture. That's part of mind control and brainwashing the nationality of people. The lost people that we are the lost tribe in Israel. We're lost, but we're not lost. We're here, but we're lost because we don't know. You get what I'm saying?